I don't know if I'm ready to let go. I don't know if I'm ready to detach. I don't know if I'm ready to move on. Well, are you looking up YouTube videos on how to do those things? I think that's a good indication of where you are. Hello, hello, hello. I hope you're having a beautiful day wherever you are in the world. My name is Misako, and thank you so much for pressing play on today's video. Let me tell you, if you were to look up the term anxious attachment last year, not this year, look it up last year in the dictionary, you would see a photo of me, of my big old head right there, because they invented that term after me. Yes, they did. They absolutely did, because that was the only way I knew how to exist. I didn't know how to detach, how to let go. I was always in like a scarcity mindset. My thing wasn't necessarily from places or jobs or things like that. Mine was always with people. But the advice I'm about to share in this video, you can apply to anything. I clung to people for dear life, as if they gave me life, and they didn't. They were draining the life out of me. And I don't want that for you. I want better for you. I really do. So today I want to share some things that have helped me stay detached. The first thing I want to do is remove all of the shame around being attached to something or someone that you no longer want to be attached to, or all the shame around being an anxiously attached person. This isn't something that happened overnight. You didn't just wake up and decide to be an anxiously attached person or someone that struggles with detachment. Usually this is something that we pick up in childhood that we learn to do out of survival. But I know what it feels like to want to learn how to master detachment and let go of things that are no longer serving you. So today I'm going to share a few things that have helped me learn how to detach and stay detached for good. And like I said, you can apply these tips to anything. The first thing I want you to work on is releasing this fear that you'll never find better, that you'll never find a better job, a better city, a better partner, a better friend. Release this. This is not true, and this fear prevents us from making space in our lives for things that are better for us. The way that I've been able to release this fear is by turning what I'm feeling in that moment into gratitude instead. Instead of looking at a situation through a lens of fear, like, oh my God, I don't want to let go of this because what if I never find better, and what if I never find a better job, blah, blah, blah. I turn around and I try to look at it through a lens of gratitude. Like, I'm so grateful for everything I've learned from this job. I'm so grateful for everything this apartment has provided me with, all of the comfort this apartment has provided me with. I'm so grateful for all of the lessons I've learned from this situation, from this relationship. But now I can release you with love, because I'm going to go find something that's in better alignment with me, with where I am right now, with my needs. I'm going to go find that thing because I know it exists. And sometimes I know it's hard to get to that place of gratitude when you're feeling angry and frustrated or disappointed. But I promise you, learning how to look at a situation through a lens of gratitude and being grateful for everything that you were able to gain and learn from the experience, even if it was just lessons, even if the only thing you were able to gain is that you never want that again, that will help you release the situation. Another tip I have for you is just to release the idea that the thing that you're attached to defines you. The first example that comes to my mind is people who I've met in Mexico City who have moved here from New York. They often come here when they're absolutely done and depleted, but they stay in New York longer than they actually wanted to, because they felt so, their identities felt so tied into the city. Like they felt like they had taken so much time to fight for their spot in the city and find their apartment and their community and their job, that even when they realized it wasn't serving them, they didn't quite know how to let go, because they felt like New York was like a part of who they were. And I think the same thing happens in jobs and relationships. We believe that our worth and our identity is attached to those things, when in reality, they are not. It doesn't matter how long you have been at a job or with a person or lived in a city. You are you, and you will always be you. And maybe it'll take a moment to redefine what that looks like for you, but you're not those things that you feel so attached to. The next thing I want you to do when you have finally decided to detach is to remind yourself every day that you will get through this, that you have survived more challenging things, that you can conquer this just like you've conquered everything else in your life. I think a lot of us try to avoid the pain and discomfort that comes with detachment. I know I did. I did not want to go through that heartbreak. I thought that I wouldn't be able to handle it. But then I remembered who I was. And you need to remember who you are. You are stronger and you are more capable than you realize. You will conquer this. You will. Also, sunk cost fallacy, the phenomenon whereby a person is reluctant to abandon a strategy or course of action because they have invested heavily in it, even when it is clear that abandonment would be more beneficial. It's the same thing like I was mentioning with people who are afraid to let go of New York. A lot of people don't want to detach just because of the amount of time they put into something. You see this all the time in relationships and marriages where your friends are super unhappy, but they don't want to walk away because of all the time they've invested into that person. And the way I think about this is every day that you're spending in a situation that is making you deeply unhappy is a day of peace that you will never get back. That you will never get back. I understand not wanting to feel like you've wasted your time, but you haven't, because of what I mentioned in the beginning of this. You can learn and take something away from every situation, even if it wasn't the most positive. So take those lessons and go. And go. And once you've gone, I need you to remove all of the reminders and triggers from your life. I used to be very anti-block, very anti-mute, very anti-unfollow. Those are my favorite buttons now, because who's going to protect my peace? No one else but me. You can't heal a wound that you keep opening. Remove the triggers, remove the reminders, create a safe space for yourself, and do that in whatever way you need to. I was walking to a photo shoot that I had booked, and I got a message from a person, and the message really hurt my feelings. This was a past lover. And I decided in that moment, I was like, I never want to give this person the power to alter my mood ever again. Blocked. And I honestly don't think that that's that big of a deal. I think we put a lot more weight on that action than it deserves. Blocking someone, muting someone, is just protecting your peace. That's it. Think of it like that. It's just protecting your peace. I mean, that's not a light thing. That is something that I think we need to take very seriously. But like, you're not harming anyone by blocking them, but you are harming yourself by allowing them to continuously have access to you and trigger you. You can't detach from someone that you're constantly being reminded of. And the last thing I want to remind you on while you're on this journey of detachment is just to be proud of yourself. You're finally prioritizing you and choosing you, and I'm proud of you for doing that. I know it took a lot to get here, and we may still have a long way to go, but I think it's really honorable that you're finally deciding to put yourself first, put your peace first, and detach from things that are no longer serving you. I know in the moment, practicing detachment can feel scary, but don't be afraid to choose yourself. I love you. Thank you so much for pressing play on today's video. Thank you so much for showing up for me. Thank you so much for being patient with me. And as always, thank you for being here.